You're listening to the Stay Out Your Lane podcast. Oh yeah, you heard me right. Stay out your lane. And I'm your host, Dr. Anissa Ferguson, and I'm just someone who's heard the phrase stay in your lane one too many times. Quite frankly, there just aren't enough lanes for me, period. Does that sound familiar? Are you an entrepreneur or business professional who feels pigeonholed? Well, you're in the right place. On this show, we're going to be swerving some lanes with folks straight killing the game. Doing things that weren't necessarily their professional training, but they're still living a passion-driven and purpose-filled life. So roll with me while I encourage you to stay out your lane and instead command your life's highway. Sit back and let's go for a ride.
Today, I am so excited for our guest. Listen, this lady is a marketing maven, like amongst so many titles that she has. The owner and CEO of Charis Jones Boutique. If you are ever in Richmond, just stop. So close off the Beltway. Listen, she's an employee. She has been, employer. She went from employee to employer, and her story is amazing. It's so similar to so many people's story, which is why I'm encouraged to bring her today, because she'll give you encouragement. She's the person that you feel like is your best friend and your sister and all of those things, but she's also a force to be reckoned with. She's been on Black Enterprise. She has been featured, just so many places. So you've seen her stuff even in Macys. Look, we're going to get into everything and unpack it. But before we do that, really quickly, I just want to make sure that you are going on and that you are sharing this on your Facebook Live, or if you are able to share this later on our YouTube channel, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, whatever it is that you're on, make sure you're sharing this, because she is going to drop straight gems. She does it every time. So again, let's just jump into it. This is Lane 19 with Charis Jones, owner of Charis Jones Boutique. Give me a moment. Let me bring her right into the room. Charis, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I am absolutely amazing. And guess what?
What?
I'm actually going live at the same time of your podcast.
Ooh.
And we are going to tell people on the Sassy Jones community about the podcast too.
You are so beautiful.
So give me 1 second to get live.
This is your thing, honey. I am just here for the highlight reel. You understand?
But I'm good. We can continue. They're trickling in. I am well. Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Anissa.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. It's so funny. For the people that don't know who you are, which I can't imagine there's a person around now who doesn't know who you are.
There's plenty of people.
But those who don't, it is so exciting, because Charis is, like I said before, she's a person, just like I said, your everyday sister, friend. She's so professional, so amazingly beautiful, a wife, a mom, and she does it all flawlessly. Look, I get all my little tips now for going live from you. So if I'm listen, it's all Charis's fault. No, but you are so amazing. Listen, tell people just really quickly, what is Charis Jones Boutique? Who is Charis in general? And we'll direct some more questions, but I just want to hear from your lips. Who is Charis and who is Charis Jones?
Let's see. Well, Charis Jones is a girl from P-Town, Portsmouth, Virginia, who was born when my mom was 15 and raised predominantly by my grandmother. Mm-hmm. And just a girl who dreamt really, really big dreams, and who only thought that I could start doing and executing by getting small wins at a time. So, for example, in high school, I knew that I wanted to be on the varsity cheerleading squad when I was a freshman, right? Mm-hmm. And these are huge, lofty dreams. And so I ended up not making it as a freshman, but doing it as a sophomore. So just trying to catch little gems all along the way, just because I thought I could. So I had a wonderful childhood, and then into my adulthood, started working, went to Hampton University, did not finish Hampton University because I wanted to be grown. And
Don't we all?
Yeah, I was like,
you want to show up.
These call centers were hiring. And I was like, why am I going to sit here and get an education, rack up all these student loans? I'm about to go work in the call center, right?
Mm-hmm.
At
I'm not mad.
22 years old, making $52,000 a year, and knew I was the ish, right?
You a grown.
Grown, right? Had my mom co-sign for me a little townhouse out in the hood in Hampton. Like, I just
Okay.
wanted to do things my way. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so about 10 years into my corporate career, I had sold everything from banking products to insurance, food to restaurants. And
Mm.
it was at my last job that I found myself, because I worked with owners of businesses,
Okay.
owners of restaurants, and I found myself wanting to be them, because I would give them all of these ideas like, hey, you should try this marketing strategy. Why don't you add this to your menu? You should do
Mm-hmm.
this promotion. And they would never listen. They would
Listen,
never, they were like, oh, we don't have the budget for that. And I'm like, this is free. Social media is free, you know?
it wasn't for them.
It wasn't for them. And
Mm-hmm.
then I just decided to start my website and then start to create my exit strategy. And then from there, we can get into the story from there. But that's who Charis Jones is. I'm a mother of twins. They
They are
four.
so handsome. Girl, the Action Jackson is in the building every time you put that camera on.
Stays in the building. When is he not in the building?
Oh my God. If the camera's rolling, I think you could
He's
just
there.
not either. He is for it.
He is so there for it. So Action Jackson and Julian are their names. And my husband, this year will be 10 years that we'll be married. Keon, he is the president of our company. And when I tell you he is the rock, he is the rock.
But let me tell you, look, for those who are listening, I have to interject because, I've been in both of you guys' presence before.
Yes,
and the way that he operates when you are there, it's like, that he's a strong man, right?
Yeah.
But he allows you to show up authentically. And it's like he takes the light and he shines it right on his princess and he allows you to just glow. And I love that because it shows the strength of not only who you are, but the platform together. You're a cohesive team and it shows up every single time. Because I know you can't do what you do without him.
No. And what I do requires a lot of support. Like, even just outside of what you see, this is just visible stuff. And literally, I am just a talking head. Like, there is a squad. There is a team. There are people manning at all hours of the day, And
amazing team.
Yeah. And then emotional support, like, I see a therapist. I cry weekly. I meditate. I pray. I work on myself. So I don't know of a person that can be successful and continue to climb those heights without a firm foundation. And I always tell women all around the world, like, I have my things. Like, if I need to go cry, I'm not going to sit and hold it in. If I need to pray or meditate, I'll go do that. But I know my recipe. I know what works for me. And so I just stick to it.
Well, girl, the recipe is working.
Thank you.
The funny thing is every day, like, at least if I have a little bit of time, I'm always popping in because thankfully I'm a part of Secret Society. We're going to talk about that later. But you are so transparent. And I think that that's one of the things that make you so relatable. The fact that people can be like I said, sister girl, and you still have the respect for the business owner, Charis, but you still say, she gets me. And I think that that's really, really important. We've seen you in your pajamas. We've seen you, girl, going to the bakery. We've seen you interacting with employees. And that's so cool because this is sort of how I wanted to frame our discussion. And I talk about going from Periscope to HSN. Now, I know HSN is on the horizon, but you've had like a whole lot of stuff happen in the middle. But Periscope, like, that was the thing. That was the girl. You'd be like, Periscope, what? And it kept crashing and falling.
Periscope was everything. Who are you kidding?
It was. But the first time I met you, and I don't even know if you remember this, I think we may have talked about it once or twice, but you were in DC, and I can't remember what the trade show was, but you were there, and I walked through a lot of tables. And I remember you handed me this clear plastic card with your logo on it and all your stuff. And you said, my name's Charis. And, I ended up purchasing something from you. And we like totally, after that, I just didn't think about going online, just my life at the time. And I wasn't really caring about, all of this. But then we did a fashion show and you came from Runway Moms.
Yeah.
And I was one of the runway models and you were styling us. Girl, I was like, oh, I want this piece. Everything you styled on me, I think I bought. And you was like, oh, girl, you want this? I'm going to send you a brand new one next week. So, well, Okay. But she got on too. And you sense everything. So talk about the transition from Periscope, all of the experiences that you had selling and really trying to get your vision across for what you saw in other brands that ultimately translated to your brand, and how you built this community and just really started elevating the confidence of women the way that you have.
You know where it came from? It came from, I definitely took some tools from my corporate career. Like working at Bank of America and working at Geico, I learned about customer service firsthand. And I knew that if I ever wanted to do something on my own, A, it had to have a heavy online presence, right? And then B, it had to have a heavy customer experience presence. And so when I thought about like what kind of business I wanted to start, I wanted something that at the time was cheap to start, you know, low barrier to entry, and something that I already knew. I didn't want to have to learn a new craft. I wanted to use what was already in my hands. So I was like, okay, fashion. Why not fashion, right? And I thought about, okay, shoes, clothes, purses. What can I do? It's like, you know what? I am an accessory girl through and through and through. This comes from my grandmother and how she adored, and her sisters and the women in my family, how they show up in a room and how they dress and how they make people feel and how they speak to, it's just, there is magic when you see a certain kind of woman walk in the room. And that's how I grew up. And so I said, you know what? I want to do something that has something to do with fashion, but I didn't know exactly what. So I just started with accessories.
Okay.
And then so from there, the website wasn't really taking off. It wasn't making any money. Like I would get maybe, so one day I had $17 worth of sales. Maybe next day I had $25 worth of sales, like that. And so I said, well, I do have the gift of gab and I really love being a girl's girl. So why don't I try to like get out in front of people? And so I was driving to my job that I hated, commuted from Richmond to Fredericksburg daily. I think my commute was like an hour and some change every day. Girl, like, I mean, in the traffic, it was just, so many hours of my life wasted on the road. And I heard this commercial on the radio and it said, just come pay this money, set up your booth and you can sell. Right. And I was like, okay, I think I can do that. But the problem was they wanted $800 to set up a table.
Oh my!
No wonder at the time my whole check was $800.
No wonder you could just come and set up. Like, really?
I need money to pay. I still got to pay my bills, and I need money to set up for capital to buy inventory. Right. So I figured it out. I ended up selling a car, is what I did, to get the money for capital. And so that's how I started Sassy Jones. And then so when I was at that, and it was a Mercedes, it was a paid off Mercedes. I was so proud of it. And so at this trade show, I tell the story a lot, but that was really where I learned who Sassy Jones is. And so we had these gaudy, big, huge pieces like we love, because we love to show up. We're not afraid to show up. There were so many women who just said, this isn't for me, or I don't think I can pull this off, or, that looks good on you, but not on me. And then I kept hearing this over and over and over. And I'm like, whoa. I said, in my mind, these are not sales objections. These are mental barriers. Yeah. This is a personal issue with women. Right. And I was like, I'm hearing it entirely too much. Surely every woman can't feel like this. So I started she would be like, no, that's not for me. I would pull her over there in my little 10 by 10 area. Come here. I just need you to be a model. I just need you to just be my model for a second. Dolled her up, put them earrings on her, give her a little hand, and then praised her, gave her a little push. Girl, you got this. You can do this. Just try it. Look at yourself. And she just sat up just a little bit taller, like, oh my God, I do think I can do this. And then so with just a little bit of encouragement, that's how I started to convert customers. And that's how I learned that we are a ministry. Like it has nothing to do with the jewelry at all. It's how you feel and what you think about. And even today in my design, I think about how I want the customer to feel in the end. You know what I mean? And then I work backwards from there. But yeah.
Wow, girl. Listen, you said a whole lot. And I think one of the main things that resonated with me with what you said was the sacrifice. Yeah. I've heard this before where people will say, basically your lifestyle is killing your dream. And had you not said, okay, I can part with this Benz now look at you, range, but you don't see that. In that moment, it's like, I look good in my Benz and I don't want to get rid of it. So
oh my gosh,
you challenge that. You know what I'm saying? Because you always cute anyway. So I know you was really real cute in that Benz. And it's paid for too. Listen,
girl,
you can me nothing. It drove real good. It drove real good. But that's the thing people struggle with. Like, ride. But yeah, the beginning doesn't necessarily look like what you're envisioning. And if you can see that, and if they can mirror what you've done, even in just the thought of sacrificing something right now for later, will make such a big difference. So we have some folks in here. That's Rashinda. She says customer service experience is top notch, which we know. It's very cool. Oh, she also said the Periscope days is everybody remembers Periscope days. Lord. Let me see. Come over here, girl. Let me dress you up. Yes, this is Charis. Now I know for a couple times you've thrown a necklace around my neck, and I just felt like kept me.
Because like some women just need the extra encouragement, just the boost. Or you might, I'm one of those women who need to see it to believe it.
Absolutely. I do too. Yeah. But that's so key. And, like I said, I just think about all that you've done and the way you show up. And a lot of people that are commenting, they are part of the secret society.
They are part of the
secret society. Listen, when I got my notification, I was like, here are my pictures. I'm ready. What are you doing? I'm ready. I'm here for all of it. And for those of you who don't know, this is Charis's personal VIP group. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit about that, because after Periscope and as you started moving into more Facebook, you grew this community and it became this secret sector, if you will. So tell us a little bit more about that for people who are thinking about how they need to grow their engagement and how they need to resonate and relate with their audience, essentially.
Yeah. So when I started to invest in learning more about my craft and sort of e-commerce marketing, because that's very different from any other kind of marketing, because it's harder here in the e-commerce streets, because it's not true that if you build it, they will come.
That's true.
You have to build it and scream, me, and jump on top of the buildings to be seen, right? Because there's so much competition. I mean, you think about how customers browse websites, or like how we browse social media. So I was like, I need a corral. I need to start to build an audience. I need to start to build a community. And so I created this Facebook group. Now, in the beginning, the Facebook group didn't have parameters. It was just open to anyone who had shot with Sassy Jones. Hell, anyone who had shot with Sassy Jones and their mama and their sister cousin, right? And this, and then once I experienced that, I was like, okay, well, I don't like the way that this feels. We need to start putting standards in place, right? And at a certain point, you know that you are worth like standards, right? And so I started to actually put in a rewards program, and then that's how they would be allowed to come into the group. And so we removed, we did a clean sweep, and I said, in order for you to play in this place, because I want it to be very special, and we'll talk about how it's special in a second, but I had to standardize that thing. So we put some parameters around it, and how you get in today is with 1,250 points. That's it. 1,250 points.
I got a little laugh for you, Charis.
What?
So let me tell you about my experience with Sassy Jones Secret Society.
Okay.
And when it used to be I think it was like 750 points.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you no lie. I said, I'm going to make this last purchase because this is all the points I need to get to 750.
Uh-oh.
You know what left me? Let me tell you about Charis Jones. She said, you won't have to do 1,250. And I said, wait a minute, Charis. I was right here, girl. And then I said, well, I'm gonna have to buy a pocketbook or something because I got to get on it. But that literally happened to me. I was right at the club. I said, oh no.
I am so sorry.
It was just last week though. What happened? Girl, I said one day I'm gonna tell you that story. It was so funny, but it's all been good. Literally, we got to do an OOTD. You have to show my vintage Sassy. So tell us what you're wearing today.
Okay, so I am rocking. Let's see. These are the Veronica B studs on the ears. I have
Mhm.
on fairy dust on the neck, who is coming back really, really soon. And
Mhm.
then just a whole bunch of. Actually, I have a black watch on here. This is mine. And then I have a stack of Anika bangles. Our Sassy and Shut In T-shirt now, since we're all in the house and quarantined.
We
And
are in the Sassy Shed in
but
ministry.
we still sassy though.
We
We
are,
still
look.
sassy. And just a blazer, some sneaks, and some athleisure joggers. So
But
that's
you
what I'm
always
rocking.
show up
What are you
beautifully.
rocking?
You always show up beautifully. And I'm gonna mess up all the names, but I can show you, and I bet you know all the names. But this goes with my. This is a D
Yeah.
or a D, right? This is the bracelet that goes to my absolute favorite bag, which before quarantine I was super excited to wear, but see, like now I have nowhere to go. But it is coming out as soon as, how do they say, day one? That's my
Girl,
day one.
it's out now.
No, I have it. I have it already. I ordered it when it first came out on Secret Society. So I have that, and I have another bag coming. But I have this one, this necklace. I think it's an indigo. I don't know.
Azul, it looks like. It looks like
Azul. Yes,
Azul.
it's blue. The blue ones. Yep. And then these, I don't know what they are. They're so light.
Girl, I
You know,
don't know what
sometimes
those
you get
are
earrings, they
either.
drag your whole down to the floor. Like these are super light and they just say so much. So I love all your stuff. A lot of times when I'm on here on a podcast, I have on something from Charis's design. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
oh
you.
absolutely. I mean, it just helps me to show up, like you said, even if you're quiet, when you walk in, you're saying something when
Hmm.
you're wearing Sassy Jones. So I'm appreciative of all of your designs. And so let's talk about that too, because
Yep.
some people are really interested in income generation. Somebody right now is Cinco de Mayo, has their glass, and they're sitting here trying to figure out, okay, what notes can I glean from Charis to grow from what I knew used to be a six-figure business to over and multiple seven-figure businesses. So for the people who are interested in the financial side, tell us a little bit about what you feel like were the main things that catapulted you from that one digit that makes all the difference
Yeah.
in zero. What did you do,
That
girl? What did
additional
you do?
zero makes a difference, right?
What, one way or the
So
other?
so let's see. If I had to narrow it down to about top three, the first would definitely be investing in my knowledge. And that looks like a ton of different things. That looks like coaching for me. That looks
Mm-hmm,
like conferences, and that looks
mm-hmm.
like reading books.
Oh,
Nowadays, I can't read as much, like sit down read, but I
mhm.
am an Audible whore.
Oh,
Like,
me too, girl. Yes.
yes, love Audible. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm rereading Jim Collins' Good to Great, and it just feels different to me today
Great.
than it did 3 years ago when I first read the book. You know what I mean?
Awesome. I'm gonna add that.
Oh, it is. It's the best book in all of the land.
Hmm.
In all of the land. It's so juicy and so yummy. Um, and so that would be the first thing, investing in my knowledge. The second thing is, I would say, believing in myself.
Mm.
Because like when I was working for my corporate job, I was in the President's Club. I
Mm.
had been on free trips, excuse me, to Bahamas, like that the company paid. There was a point in time that I had never paid for a TV in my house because I won them all in
Wow.
sales competitions. Like
Mm.
that is my God given talent.
Yes.
And I was like, I just need to start keeping some of the good for me. And it required believing in myself and knowing that I can do it. And only just taking one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and gaining small wins to have the confidence to keep going. And then you keep walking, and then all of a sudden you have a staff. And and all of a sudden there's
Girl,
all these things, and you're offering health insurance. You know what I mean? And
that's
so, and talking about offering 401k. So
mm.
there are there was a lot that I had to work on in the confidence area. And it's crazy because I sell confidence, but when you talk about having people eat what you kill, and not
Mm.
just you, but
Mm-hmm.
people with children and mortgages, like
Yes,
staff, that's a
that's
different
scary.
monkey,
Mm. Yeah.
especially during COVID, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I
Ooh.
continue to read my word. I continue to invest in myself. I continue to pray. I continue my
Mm-hmm.
therapy,
Yes.
all of it, because it's required. And then the last thing I would say, hmm, ooh, paid marketing team. Yeah.
That is scary by itself. I sometimes I think about it, I'm like, organic, organic, organic. But then you're like, oh my God, like there's so much noise out there. So much noise out there, Charis. Like, how did you do this? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really makes me scared sometimes when I think about that. But you said something that was really key for me. And you don't think about these things unless you are, like you said, a CEO particularly, and you're going through this COVID experience and you think, wow, I have to create something that's sustainable, not just for my family, my four.
Mm-hmm.
You think about all of your employees and their families and all of that. But, you know, God has truly blessed you. And I know that this is not a secret. It's okay. We can say that here. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
And I just see how you move and how you operate with your team, how you operate and think about the people that you work with. You come on with your pajamas in the morning. It's just like, hey, girl, you're going to get out here and be live today. You really just give people that energy.
Thank you. Thank you.
And another thing that you talk about this really quickly, not only do you get this information for yourself, because we saw each other at TSP once as well, you also pour this into other people. How's Grace Over Grind going? Because
oh my gosh,
that whole thing, I was like, man, if I could get there, but it was just my schedule and your schedule. But oh my gosh, tell people about Grace Over Grind and what it is and who it impacts.
Okay, so Grace Over Grind was only birthed because of Michelle Obama. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So I was thinking about, I was at a conference and this woman of influence, not Michelle Obama, she told me, she pulled me to the side. She said, you have a responsibility, little girl. I was like, she talks to people like
she
this.
called you out.
She said, yeah. She, you know, she's this branding guru. And she said, little girl, you have a responsibility. I said, what? What is it? She said, you have to teach people. You have to teach the people what you know because you're special and you have to give it away. And I thought about it and I chewed on it for years because, you know, my family growing up, I mean, we weren't rich. We're okay. But there was a poverty mentality that was instilled inside of me, right? And so afraid to invest in paid marketing because I don't know if I'm going to get it back. I never seen what that looks like.
Yeah.
And so she was like, okay, you got to give this knowledge away. And I'm like, well, hell, why would I give it away? Why would I go and create other competitors? Why would I do that? And so that thing was sitting with me for a year. And then the time came when I had went to Becoming World Tour. I went to the Barclays Center and I had the opportunity to actually meet Michelle Obama. We hugged. She smelled just like fresh curling iron and she was so fly. And I introduced myself. She's a sister girl. I introduced myself and after we got done talking very briefly, she said, you have a responsibility. She told me the exact same thing that this other woman. But I didn't listen to the other woman. I listened to Michelle Obama.
Listen, I'm going to tell you again.
Yeah, just in case. She said, don't forget to take people with you. That's what she said. That was her words. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, that got me right in the heart because I know exactly what it meant. She didn't know what it meant, but I knew what it meant. I knew exactly how to apply that thing. And so that's how Grace Over Grind was birthed. And all it is monthly, not this year, but last year, I think we did it 4 times, so about quarterly. I'll bring a group of 10 women into my warehouse, and they're not local. They fly in from all around the world for a day behind the scenes of Sassy Jones. And we go over how to calculate your revenue, how to manage your revenue. We talk about profit. We talk about team. We talk about all of it, all of the revenue generators that you should have within your brand. And so I love that space because it gives me a different kind of joy. It gave me a different kind of satisfaction. I remember doing my first class, I just sat there. I was like, gosh, this is a good kind of high. This is a great feeling. And I hadn't experienced that like in the Sassy Jones, you know, that's amazing. But this felt better, you know, and I don't have a lot of time to do it. I don't, you know.
I don't know how you do any of it, quite frankly.
I don't know either, child. I mean, I be about dead after I teach a class. Be on full corpse with lashes on.
I can imagine.
But it's such a great place. And then this year we were getting ready to do the first class in March, and then we got under a state of emergency for the state of Virginia. And so we're going to push it to fall. And I think after this, because the world is changing, like things look different. I think we'll just do it
It
digitally.
does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lasting thing. And it's so funny, like just to think about the impact that you have, because me, I told you for years, like I would drive through. My dad, you know, we're from New York, and my father used to work for Philip Morris.
Yeah.
Well, you always think it's the big cigarette in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
Riding through. Unless he's there for business, we're just riding through. Charis got me to come to Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
It's so funny, you know, like you and I think just one other good friend I have there. But it's not just a place I would normally just come. But spending time there with you, spending time, you know, with the ladies in Sassy Jones Secret Society, it just really transformed it. So it's like I feel like no matter where you're planted, if God put you there, He will allow everything to grow right around you. And you don't necessarily
come for that dinner with Kim Coles.
I did.
Yes.
I did. She was a sweetheart too. But like you said, everybody that you bring, they give the same feeling of familiarity and family. And so I don't look at Sassy Jones as just a brand. It's like when I tell people, I say, oh, my friend Charis, you need to just go in and shop at SassyJones.com. But I think that's what everybody feels when they work with you and when they experience you really more in depth. So yeah, no, I'm just grateful. I'm appreciative of all of your time. We have somebody from that said she got you there too. Look, we should have there. Yes, you did. But listen, really quick, let's talk about HSN and what that looks like. Because honey, when I tell you there's a pocketbook that you have, and I'm just waiting. That liquid gold, I'm waiting for it to drop in the bucket. Would you say coming through in a Honda? I'm ready.
I'm ready. Is gassed up. The Honda is so gassed up. The Honda is ready. Man, I'm telling you, HSN is coming this fall. They're pushing for Q4. Like we had conversations about Q1 of next year, but my buyer's like, we've got to squeeze it in Q4 so we can. And what we're doing is Sassy Jones that you've never seen. Like ever seen. So before we were going to do spring, and with COVID and everything, and then we thought about our product offering to HSN, and it mimicked and it mirrored our existing product offering. But I thought about, oh my God, and it really requires some quiet time for me, because I'm like, Jesus, like, what can I do with this quiet space that we have that blessed us with, right? Instead of thinking it's turmoil, what can I do to like ascend with it? So I thought about, I was like, well, if I have a chance and we're going to push it back, Charis, why don't you create something that looks nothing like anything you've ever done before, where the consumer who knows you has to double take, has to do a mofo double take. And that is what I'm working on right now. And so HSN will be new. It will be like side-eye Sassy Jones, like, Sassy Jones, is that you? You know what I mean? like that. Yeah. So Q4, when I have a date, I will let everyone know. But we're excited. HSN is excited. And it's just like the relationship couldn't get any better. And they're the greatest people in the world to work with.
So how do you feel? How do you just feel about it in general? Like you have, like I said, you have so many great ideas, and you always position yourself, like you said, out of the box thinking, forward thinking. How does it feel to just know that this beautiful woman of color, where we don't see a lot of that representation in HSN and other places? You see some, but not quite as much. That you're really groundbreaking and doing these things that are somewhat out of the box. You know, and I have a picture. I'm going to take you back really quickly.
Let's go. This is I remember that. Girl. Wow. Society, y'all see that? That was just last year.
It was, and I was like so upset that I was not there. I was like, no. But and like everything that's going on. But you know, I was planning to be there for a reunion this year. But such is life. Yeah. Such is life. But there's just so much amazing stuff happening in your world, and I'm really appreciative that you share this time with us. Look, are you still going to be at Macys doing some more things there as well, or?
You know what? I just want to share, I know we're about to wrap this up, but I just want to share one thing. The answer is no.
Yes.
Well, yes and no, because Macys has this workshop thing that I was accepted into. I think they accept like 10 to 15 brands all around the world.
Wow.
And then I couldn't do it because it was conflicting with my HSN air date. And then I couldn't do any of it because of COVID. Right? So, who knows? Yeah, who knows about Macys? But the thing about it, in this COVID thing, I am so grateful that I have made the decisions that I have made in the past. You understand? So, like, I was thinking back about Charis. You could have just kept doing the trade shows. Like, you could have kept doing the trade shows and left it at that, because what's wrong with that? It's generating revenue. You know, I had gone to trade shows where I think some brands, they said they come back, 25 years. I come back every year. This is my 25th year. Like, and I just thought, I was like, okay, that's wonderful. However, you know? And so at a certain point, when you just keep making, you know, what seems like the right decision to you at the moment, you're going to see why, you know?
Yes.
And today I am so grateful for those previous decisions.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad too. Let me tell you. Let me show them. What am I going to do? And it's so funny. You start doing all this stuff with your closet. And I was like, you know what, babe? I got to get my closet together. Sharice's closet together. I've just been sitting on it. You force everyone to level up. And I appreciate you for doing that, because you just being who you are allows other women to show up how they are supposed to show up.
Absolutely.
I'm going to put all the information about how people can follow you, how they can enjoy some of these beautiful pieces that you have on Instagram and Facebook. Is at Shop Sassy Jones.
Yep.
And she's also, and I think the last year, has done her own Instagram page. So you can also follow her at Charis Jones. She's located in Richmond, Virginia. Her website is Shop Sassy Jones. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a little selfish. I really want to give them this next website, because I can never catch a sale on the Wednesday sale.
Girl, go ahead.
Listen, every Wednesday, I'm not telling y'all time. Y'all gonna have to follow for yourself. It's sidewalk sale for Sassy Jones, and it's so amazing how your ingenuity with this, because you don't think, oh, these little extra pieces, you just put them to the side or get rid of them or give them away. No, she packages up these things that may have just a little small blemish, or just something half the time you can't even tell where something went wrong. But she packages these all together in a sidewalk sale, and it's so amazing. And then Thursdays we have, you know, everything. Sparkle Party. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love Sparkle Party. And I don't know, HSN, I don't know if they know what they're getting or not, but even if you never was on HSN, you don't even need them. You know, I mean, they have
it's a want. It's a want.
It's a want. I can imagine. But that's manifestation, that's visualization coming to life, because a lot of times we can't see what, if we don't see it, we can't achieve it, right? But you said to yourself that with faith, this is what I want to do, despite this. And when you have that singular focus, you can achieve anything, and you're proof of that. And I just appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. So yet again, please go follow Charis Jones at shopsassyjones.com. Be sure to check out some more of our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iTunes Radio, iHeartRadio. I'm in love. Thank you so much, Charis. Enjoy your day. Thank you for this beautiful Cinco de Mayo entrance, because I'm going to go this is my cocktail. I'm trying to leave my COVID-15. Okay, not COVID-19, but COVID-15. Yeah, I had to go lose my COVID-15. But until then, my necklaces still fit, and I'm so excited. Yeah, you have some excellent folks here. Look, Angie Porter, she said, fabulous. Thank you, sweetheart, for checking in. Lisa giving us all her blue love, as she always does. Hey, sweetie. Rashinda, thank you so much. And for everybody who's watching, have a wonderful day on purpose with purpose. Talk to you soon, Charis.
Bye.
Bye-bye.